Growing up, I'm pretty sure for all of us, Saturday morning cartoons were such an integral part of the week. You had iconic series such as The Clone Wars, Kim Possible, and Total Drama Island. And while all these series were amazing, one of them always stood out to me. So when I found out there was 2 Ben 10 games available on the PS5 that I could get the platinum for, I knew I just had to do it and make a video. The first game was released in 2017 on the PS4. It is just your classic adventure beat 'em up game, and it has 39 trophies including the platinum. So right after beating the game's tutorial, we get introduced to the first villain of the game, Gonzo, who is using a device called the Buzzkill battery to suck the happiness out of the residents of this city. You start the game with access to 3 aliens being Cannonball, Heat Blast, and Forearms, and you simply just have to defeat enemies on your way to the end of the level. During my playthrough, I was also making sure to defeat all enemies and break every object I can to pick up these green experience points. These allow me to upgrade the aliens, and there is a trophy attached to upgrading all the aliens fully. It of course wouldn't be a Ben 10 game without sumo cards, which are the only type of collectible in this game, and here I get my first trophy for collecting my first one.
This is a good one.
Each alien also has its own super ability that charges up as you play through the level and beat enemies, and if you actually use it to kill 10 enemies, you get a trophy.
And done.
Soon after that, I fully upgraded Forearms, which gave me my next trophy.
Awesome.
Heading into the second level, I unlocked Wildvine, who allows you to swing off these green leaf pads.
Time to climb.
I really didn't enjoy using Wildvine. He just felt very slow and sluggish, just very heavy to use. So I decided to use Grey Matter, who I also unlocked in this level, and while doing so, I got a trophy for getting a 50-hit combo. Later in the level, I unlocked XLR8, who is definitely the GOAT of this game. He just makes the whole playthrough so much easier. I basically used him as a main the entire time, and only swapping when it was necessary, like you have to use a different alien, or if there was the fight objective for using a different alien. But otherwise, I was using him pretty much the entire playthrough, and right here, he got me a trophy for getting a 100-hit combo. Level 2 ends with the boss fight against Gonzo. This is by no means a difficult boss fight, but there is a lot going on. You have to fight enemies, you're on this rotating platform, he's shooting missiles at you, there's fire coming out, there's just a lot to deal with. Again, this is not a difficult boss fight, but there is a trophy attached for beating this boss without taking any damage. So I had that to look forward to, and that was very difficult. Stay tuned for that later. Anyway, here's the trophy for beating Gonzo. Also, I just want to jump in and say this game actually was a lot of fun, but it does one of the things I hate most in games is you don't get the trophy right after finishing the level or defeating a boss. You've got to watch like a post-level cutscene. Then when you get back to the menu, the trophy pops, which just pisses me off. But yeah, here is the trophy. The third level of the game starts with Max and Gwen being kidnapped by the Bug Gang, and of course Ben needing to go rescue them. In episode 3, you're introduced to a whole bunch of new enemy types, one being these bees. These bees actually explode after a while, and if you can cause a chain reaction where 5 bees explode at once, you can get a trophy. I actually got it here, even though watching it back, I don't think there was even 5 bees on the screen, but I will take it. Now, as I mentioned before, there are bonus objectives you can complete in these fights that give you extra XP. These are usually something like using a certain character, reaching a certain combo, or not getting hit during the fight. Here was for getting a combo of 14, which I completed, and this was my 30th bonus objective, which got me a trophy. Level 4 ends with another boss fight, this time against Queen Bee. Once again, this was another simple boss fight, just having you avoiding bombs thrown by Queen Bee as you defeat enemies on the ground. Again, as this was a simple one, there was also so many enemies on screen at a time in a really confined space that it was impossible not to take damage, which once again I would have to do later for a trophy. Once you get through the first 2 stages against the enemies, you finally just 1v1 Queen Bee, quickscopes only, and upon defeating her, of course, you get the trophy. The 5th and 6th levels of the game center around these weatherheads who have come to Earth, of course, to take over it. And once again, it's up to Ben to stop them. During level 5, I was playing as this newly unlocked alien Dragonfly, and there is actually a trophy for defeating an enemy as all 10 of the aliens in a single fight. But I got the trophy here despite not doing that, so I guess despite the description, it must have been for defeating an enemy with all 10 aliens throughout the game. But either way, of course I'm going to take a trophy. And literally a minute after that, I got another trophy for collecting half of the Sumo Slammer cards.
You can never have too many of these.
The Weatherheads annoyingly take forever to beat, so I was changing around aliens a lot while doing this, and luckily right here I got a trophy for killing 5 enemies at once as grey matter. Right after that, I got another trophy for defeating 2 enemies with a Weatherhead drone. I'm not actually sure how I got this one, it was completely by accident, but I think it's because sometimes they do like an electrical charge power up, so I guess it's if they hit 2 of the other drones with the power up. That's my best guess. Also, as you can see, this level is just you ascending floating platforms, and there actually is a trophy attached to doing the level without falling off the map, which I did not get here, but we will be going for later. Then it was time for the final boss fight. I actually thought this was the easiest boss in the game, as you didn't have to deal with like actual enemies while you're fighting it. So it's very simple, like PS2 era type of boss. You just have to learn his attack patterns, and then you get a chance to hit him while he's down or recharging, whatever it may be. And don't worry, I'll be going into the bosses in more detail when I try to beat them all without taking damage. And that's also the end of the game, and here's my trophy. With the main story now finished, I decided to go and do the game speedrun levels, which just requires you to complete every level in under 15 minutes. I decided to also pair this with going for the last of the sumo cards, as on my first playthrough, like I did every level and they took me max 20 minutes while I was going for everything. So I knew speedrunning it in under 15 minutes would be a piece of cake. And he was my first trophy for completing level 1. And right after doing the speedrun of that first level, I finally had enough XP to finish upgrading all the aliens.
I feel stinkier already.
And while going for level 2 speedrun, I actually got a trophy for destroying 5 objects with a thrown enemy. And while doing this speedrun, I had to of course fight Gonzo once again, and once again I took damage almost instantly, so I didn't get that trophy, but I of course did get the trophy for speedrunning the level. Moving on to level 3 speedrun, and while doing this, I got a trophy for using Stinkfly's special ability to stun an exploding bee.
Fly, be free.
And here's the speedrun trophy. While doing level 4, I collected my last Sumo Slammer card.
Whoa, this doesn't stink.
While doing these speedruns, I did try to defeat all the bosses without taking damage, which I failed miserably at. But nevertheless, here's the last 3 speedrun trophies. Now, before going for those last 3 trophies of beating all the bosses without taking damage, I decided to go and knock out all the game's miscellaneous trophies. These were mostly tied to just using each character's special ability, and I got the first one right here for using Cannonbolt's special ability to knock down 5 enemies at once. I found the easiest way to do most of these is to use Grey Matter's special ability to get all the enemies together in one spot, and then use whichever character you need to use for the trophy. The next trophy was for defeating 3 enemies with Overflow's ability. Most useless alien in the game, by the way. And again for using Diamond Head's ability. And one more time with Heat Blast on this occasion, who looks like he's taking the biggest shit anyone's ever taken. This one was definitely the most frustrating trophy so far. So you see those guys on that ramp there? They're pie throwers. What you got to do for this trophy is use XLR8's ability to slow down time to kill one of them before the pie they've thrown hits the ground. And I swear to you, I had done this like 19 times. And it wasn't popping to the point I was sure it was bugged. So I was very relieved to finally get this one done. Gotta go slow, finally, I was sure it was bugged. This one was pretty annoying as well. So those big clown guys at the back, they're like big fat jokers with the hammer. They're called Tweedledees, and they do this roll attack that you need to counter and then send them rolling in the other direction and like hope they hit 5 of their enemies. This was another one that took like, it took 10 minutes, but in that 10 minutes, I probably tried like 40 times. It was infuriating, especially because you're getting attacked by the other enemies and you can't, if you dodge one of them, you might miss the dodge for Tweedledee. Just frustrating, just annoying. Got it, strike. The next one was for defeating 4 enemies with one of Forearm's throws. This was another annoying as one, as throwing, so you got to throw an enemy into 4 more enemies and kill them all, but the throw isn't powerful enough to actually kill the enemies, so you've got to like weaken them, hope you don't kill them, and it's just super RNG. You got to pray. Luckily I got it done.
This might sting a little.
Yes. Upgrade's ability will come in very useful during the boss battles as he's able to make himself immune to attacks. But to get this trophy here, you just need to bait out one of the weatherheads to use their lightning attack on you. Let it go over you and then punch them, you get the trophy. Got it. Wildvine's abilities was one of the easiest to get a trophy for as he just throws enemies around. So if you stand near a ledge and do this, you'll no doubt get the trophy. Got it. Let's go. And the last trophy I had to get before going to fight the bosses again was for killing 10 enemies as Ben. Intuition. So now it's time for the big challenge of this trophy list was for beating each of the 3 bosses without taking damage. And look, I don't mind a difficult trophy. I don't mind a hard boss battle. I don't mind not having to take damage. That is fine with me. I'm happy to do it. But you can't level select into the boss battles. You need to play through. So like this boss here, Gonzo, he's the end of level 2. So you need to play through the entirety of level 2 to get to this point. So it takes like 15 minutes of just outright boredom per attempt. And this was what made it so frustrating to lose the challenge, was because you just knew like, oh, I've got to waste another 15 minutes trying to get back to this point. That was a real frustrating part. I did crash out a few times. Unfortunately, something happened with my OBS. While recording both of these games, it was so cursed. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. My face cam audio didn't record properly, as you've probably noticed. So you won't get the full crash out experience, but you can still see when I do take damage how much it hurts me inside. On my second attempt, I really thought I had it in the bag. I got up to the second stage and I was trying to beat down these Tweedledees. And I fumbled so hard, I got nervous and just ran into a bomb.
That'll leave a mark.
Right here is my full third attempt and the successful one. You'll watch this and you'll go like, this clearly isn't a hard boss fight at all. But just like, man, when you're dealing with the pressure of, if I fail this, I've got to just like do the exact same thing again for 15 minutes, which I know isn't long. There's much grindier games and grindier trophies out there, but I just can't tell you, unless you've done it, you don't know how frustrating it is making one silly mistake and then like, I've got to play through the entire level again. Also, if you've gotten to this point of the video and you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. There's going to be many more videos like this coming. Also, comment down below what you'd like to see. Yes. Oh, thank God.
Fired up and ready to go.
Moving on to Queen Bee's boss fight. I don't know what was going on with me today, but I became king of the fumble. Off. So as you can see, I was really struggling with this boss fight. I watched guides, I read Discord servers, I did everything I could to figure out how to beat it, and clearly, obviously, just a skill issue, but I just couldn't get past him, and there was just too much going on with all the enemies shooting at you, the bombs falling down, and I just kept fumbling this, bro. I tried to jump, and I was fucking locked in the animation of shooting the flames. No, hit me. What hit me? Oh my God. This is man. On this next attempt, I was at the end of stage 2, and stage 3 is a cakewalk. So I knew once I beat stage 2, I would beat the boss fight. And right here, man, oh, I used my ultimate. I saved it up for this moment to insta-kill everyone at the end of stage 2. And for whatever reason, it just didn't kill them. No. Dude, didn't kill them. After the last attempt, I was sure I'd get it done this time. Like, I knew exactly what I had to do. And literally, like, I just completely forgot that the stage lights fell. And, oh, I crashed out. How the fuck was I meant to know that would fucking fall? So at that point, I'd actually spent about 2 hours on this boss fight, and I genuinely gave up. Like, I went to bed. I was like, I can't do it. It had been 6 or 7 attempts over about 3 hours, and I was just like, nah. But I came back the next day, failed about 3 or 4 more times, and finally I got the winning run right here. I think I just did it. Please. Yes. Yes. Oh, thank God. I still got one more boss to do. Now I was onto the final boss fight, but first I had to beat this level without falling off the map, which I did easily. Yes, right in the storm. Okay, now I just got to beat this guy without taking damage, bro. Fell off the map instantly. And believe it or not, I actually got this one done on my very second attempt, which I was so happy about after just wasting like hours, literally an overnight sleep. I was just thinking about doing that Queen Bee level. So very happy to get this done. But before the platinum pops, my overall thoughts on this game, I really liked it, man. I thought it was really good. They didn't try to do too much with it. It was just a classic beat 'em up with all the classic Ben 10 characters. Obviously, nostalgia is mixed into that as it's a very short, simple game. But I had a lot of fun. I definitely recommend playing it and going for the platinum. Don't worry too much about the boss fights. Like I think I was just really bad at them. But this is a really good game. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Come on. Thank God. Bro, it's a fun game. Those last few trophies, they're actually not bad. It's just that you need to replay the level every time. Oh, man. Now moving on to the second game in this video, Ben 10 Power Chip, released in 2020. It has 29 trophies, including the platinum. This game's main villain is Hex, who has found 4 power crystals that give him an ultimate amount of power. Basically, to make a long story short, he's just a wannabe Thanos. That's it. That's the story of the game. Anyway, I got into the tutorial and initially I had very high hopes for this game. I get a scooter. Let's go. Throughout this game, you go through portals to enter the void, and whenever you do that, you'll unlock a new alien and kind of get a little tutorial on how to utilize their skill sets. And I unlocked my first one here. For my dog. Turning up the heat, yo, that's my guy. Heat Blast is my rock, bro. I then got into my first mission, and unlike the first game, this is open world, and for the love of God, stop making games open world that don't need to be open world. It's so annoying. Anyway, there's 3 locations in this game. Right here, I'm in the first location. Of course, for the platinum, each location needs to be 100% completed. This involves doing the missions, side missions, and getting all the different collectible types, which we'll touch on later. But for now, I was doing my first mission here, which is just for clearing these trees out of the road. And every mission is something along these lines. Like, the next mission was literally collecting wood to start a fire. But for doing that, I was able to upgrade my first skill. There are 3 trophies, all for completely upgrading each of the skills, which takes a lot of hard work to get it all done in a single run, but I'll show you how I managed to do it a bit later. I did, however, get a trophy right here for upgrading a skill for the first time.
I'll need this.
Getting stronger, choose your first upgrade, and you gotta go luck. A little bit later on, I came across a void ruin. These are crystals that spawn from the void into the real world and just spawn enemies you have to beat. Upon beating them, you're able to destroy the crystal, and for doing it for the first time, you get given a trophy. To ruin. Defeat your first void ruin. I actually did one earlier and I didn't completely destroy it, so I'll go back and do that now. About 5 minutes later, I completed my first side mission, which was finding this woman's cat. Yeah, the side missions, all the missions really, they're not great, I'm telling you. The people, complete your first side mission. Bro, I love a side mission. I kept playing through the first map. My goal on my first kind of run through was just to beat all the missions and side missions before moving on to the next area. And then I'd come back and do all the collectibles later. But I decided here to fast travel for the first time and pop the trophy. Trip. Fast travel using the rust bucket. What an easy trophy. I was like on my phone. I was so sure there was going to be nothing. Soon after that, I found another void portal and I unlocked forearms. Forearms.
Forearms
Brother.
is back in action and ready to lend a hand. Or 4.
Let's rumble. Unlock forearms. My guy. Bro. All my friends are back. After finishing all the main missions in the first area, I went into the first boss fight. The boss fights could not be easier. You just go into the void and you're given 3 void crystals to destroy while a boss is throwing stuff at you. And upon doing that, you get to fight them one-on-one, and these one-on-one fights are super simple also. Monster Hunter 1. Bro, the game's unplayable. It's so laggy. So just to touch on what I was saying there, this game does not run well at all. The game auto-saves like every 2 or 3 seconds anytime you do an action. And with every autosave, you just get stuck for 2 or 3 seconds. And it's extremely frustrating. The game's very buggy, very glitchy. There's a lot of stuff that goes wrong. Just very frustrating to play. Anyway, I moved into the second area of the game, and upon doing so, I immediately unlocked Wrath.
Hey, bad guys! Get ready to face the wrath of Wrath!
Unlock Wrath. I don't know you, bro. The second area of this game sucks. This lady, Astrid Anderson, is the main quest giver. She's like a medium or a psychic, whatever you want to call it. And every mission is just like, I think you got to go to the top of the mountain and you'll seek your answers, yes? And then you go and there's nothing there. And she's like, yeah, my vision's cloudy today. Why didn't you try this? And you just do that for like 2 hours. That is the whole area. I hated it. I hated every second of it. Anyway, I eventually unlocked Diamond Head. That's Diamond
back
Head.
and ready to dish out the Diamond Head Special, a 24-karat beatdown.
What up, bro? And I beat the Area 2 boss. Like I said, all 3 boss fights are exactly the same. There was no creativity or effort put into this game at all. Monster Hunter 3. Defeat the Mountain Power Spring. Why is that 3? Shouldn't it be 2? Moving into the third area, and we're working with an investigative journalist to find out why this river is dirty. But I did finally unlock the goat who hard carried me through the first game. I hope he's just as overpowered in this game.
Yeah. With Accelerate back, Hex won't even see what's hitting him.
Fastest alien alive. And I also unlocked Shockrock.
Shockrock is charged up and ready to give Hex the shock of his life.
Shocking discovery. Unlock Shockrock. Alright. Now that I've unlocked everyone, I think I'm actually going to do all the collectibles first so I can get the platinum when the credits roll. So I made my way to the last mission of the game where you fight Hex, but before doing that, I wanted to go back and get all the collectibles and finish everything I could so that I wouldn't need to do a second playthrough, and when I finished the game was just finished. But in order to do this, I'd need to buy everything from the store. The stores contain upgrades you need to buy for 2,000 coins each, and also there's 3 maps in each store you can buy, so 9 maps overall that cost 1,000 coins each, that show you where all the collectibles are. Now, the issue with this was I needed overall like 32,000 coins. Throughout playing the game and like actually going out of my way to get coins, I had like 6,000. So I was like, oh my god, what do I do? And luckily, some gem of a person on YouTube uploaded this tactic where you can just throw boulders into these wood chippers and you will get 5 coins every time. This obviously took ages, and I ended up doing this for about 3 hours. If you can see on my face cam, I'm literally just, like, I think I was listening to a podcast and eating. Shout out to Jim Jeffries and Amos Gill for their pod. Helped me get through this time, because literally 3 hours of my day was just doing this. This game ended up, so the guide says the game takes 15 hours to complete. I did it in 11, and 3 of the hours were doing this. So Please like and subscribe that I had to go through this torture. Thank you. After saving my money and buying all the upgrades and maps that I could, it was time for me to go find the collectibles. The first ones being Void Ruins. I had to find all the trinkets. There's 30 total in the game, obviously 10 in each area of the map. And there's trophies for finding all 30, like finding every collectible in the game. And there's also trophies for completing each location 100%. So this goes towards both of those. Same thing for the records, which have 12 in total, 4 in each section of the map. There are also skill upgrades you can find around the map that count towards the collectibles. I don't have any footage of this though, because my OBS crashed. And also in each section of the map, there's a bonus collectible that needs to be done for a side mission that unfortunately aren't on the maps you can buy. So best to do this by just Googling it or watching a guide.
I'll take that.
And upon getting all of these in the first section of the map, I had 100% completed the area. Explorer 1. Complete the forest area. Let's go. Actually not too bad, especially when you can buy the maps. Pretty easy. There's another type of bonus level / collectible in this game called Decibel Concerts. These are done by the DJ Lord Decibel with, I think, the intention of using the music to control minds or something like that. Honestly, I was pretty checked out by this point. The game sucks. But I did get a trophy for doing 5 of these, which I lost that footage when my OBS crashed. And then for completing this level right here, I got the other trophy for doing 10. Opening act. Alright, 5 more to go. Oh, I got a nice little upgrade, thank you. After that, I just continued doing everything I could. Shout out to XLR8. Oh my god, his name's Accelerate. Why has that just occurred to me? His name's Accelerate, but he is the GOAT. Thank you to him for getting me around the map so fast. And right here, I unlocked the trophy for completing the second map. Explorer 3. Come on. Come on. One more to go. Each area of the map also had a scooter challenge where you just got to ride on Ben's scooter and try to complete a time trial, basically. These were super easy and basically pointless. They, of course, go towards the 100% completion for each area, and there's a trophy for doing all 3. This was the third one right here. I'll show you a sped up version of it so you can get an idea of what it is, but I'm sure you can probably figure it out anyway. King of the Scoots. Complete all scooter challenges. Bro, this game's so buggy. I'm getting really scared that like some trophies just won't pop. And soon after that, I finished the last Decibel concert. Could not have been easier. For the final one, oh my god. I'll take it. Headliner. Destroy all Decibel concerts. And now that I was finally in the last area of the map, I finally got some of the trophies for collecting all the collectibles. Archivist. Find all the trinkets. Sweet. I'm still scared stuff's gonna be bugged. Like I just mentioned there, I'd seen stuff online about so many people having bugs with trophies not popping and having to do extra playthroughs and stuff like that. So I was really concerned some trophies just wouldn't pop, especially considering how many glitches I'd encountered throughout the game. But luckily I did get the trophy here for finding the last record. Record collector, done. Okay, feeling a little bit better. A little bit after that, I got my next trophy for fully upgrading my health bar. Fit as a fiddle, find all the health upgrades. Sweet. And then for fully upgrading the power bar. Muscle Man, find all the power upgrades. I don't know why I just cringily held my fingers up to the camera. I forget I did that. Right here is like what I'd compare to a GTA Strangers and Freak tasks where you have to protect civilians from enemies. This is the trophy I was really scared was bugged because all throughout the game I'd been getting these encounters and then the enemies just wouldn't spawn. And I'd try to go back there later and I'd even exit out of the game and re-enter it and they just wouldn't pop up again. There's 15 around the map. You get a trophy for doing all of them. And I was like, there's no way I can do all of them. So this had been just like on my mind, like, please don't make me do another playthrough. Like, please, please, please. And then right here, the trophy popped. Thank God. Now that I'd finally done everything there was to do in the open world, I decided to finally go and finish the game's story, which triggered 3 trophy pops. The first one being for completing the final boss. The second for 100% completing that area of the map. And for fully upgrading my luck bar. You then have to go back into the void and complete basically this obstacle course where you can only have access to certain characters at certain times. I thought this was actually the best level in the game. I wish the whole game had been like this instead of what it was, where you were just helping out around town doing random stuff that was just inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. I don't know, it seemed really, like, I know it's a kid's game and it's a kid's series, but it just seemed like really dumbed down and like infantilized. I don't know how to describe it. It was very weird. But this is definitely the most fun level in the game, and the whole point of this is to find the Omni Guard. So Hex has an ability to actually disable the Omnitrix, and by completing this level and finding the Omni Guard, you can protect from that and use it against him. And of course, there's a trophy for finding the Omni Guard. I then moved on to the final boss fight against Hex, which you would think they would have done something special for, being what the game's been building up to, but they did not. It was exactly the same as all the other terrible boss fights. And of course now I was completely overpowered, so I completed this very easily. There was a little cutscene at the end where they set up like a sequel to this game, which obviously never came out because for the final time before the platinum pops, this game sucks. Okay, thank you for getting to this point, and honestly, this video doesn't need a big, long, detailed outro. The original Ben 10 game is good. It's fun. It's nice, short, sharp, quick fun, which games don't do enough of these days. It takes about 4 or 5 hours to beat the main story. Then there's some extra stuff you can do if you want to. The boss fights are fun. The enemies are fun. It's easy to get through. Levels take no more than 20 minutes. I highly recommend getting the game and going for the platinum if you want to as well. However, Power Trip is terrible in every facet. The open world is pointless and it sucks. The open world isn't even from the world of Ben 10. It's just some random town in the middle of nowhere you find across your travels. Like, why would I want to explore that if it's got nothing to do with the series? The boss fights are terrible. The enemies are terrible. The actual game plays horribly. The delay and the glitches are horrible. I got pretty lucky that there was no glitches in my trophy list, but I've seen lots of comments about that stuff as well. It's no wonder there hasn't been a third game that's come out, because this was just not fun to play. It's boring. Like, if you're gonna be laggy, glitchy, and just have like a really weak story, the least you could do is be fun. Being fun's the least you could do, and this game didn't do that. Don't get it. Don't platinum it. It's a waste of your time. Thank you for watching. For the final time, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed all that stuff. Bye bye.